Beloved Starseed of Gaia, I am Luminaya. Listen to this message while you sleep. This is not for everyone. You feel it, do you not? This undeniable pull. A quiet urgency, thrumming just beneath the surface of your waking world. A persistent, restless knowing that there is far more to hear than what your physical ears perceive. Perhaps a strange, gentle unease that settles in your heart. A profound sense of being set apart, of possessing a different energetic blueprint. Your consciousness yearns for something it struggles to name, something just beyond the reach of day-bound logic. A whispered invitation, persistent, yet often lost in the everyday clamor. Yes, this is a call that bypasses the linear mind. It seeks you in the sacred liminal spaces, in the soft, conscious surrender between the known and the unknown, in the deepest twilight where the veils thin to mere gossamer threads, almost invisible. This is a sacred listening. It asks for your absolute trust, not your intellectual analysis. Your luminous soul holds ancient, intricate keys, patiently awaiting the profound quiet, the deep, resonant breath that grounds you to the present moment, for the complete, unresisting release into the boundless, star-dusted vastness of night. For far too long, the most profound encoded wisdom has lain dormant within you, hidden, buried beneath the dense surface of everyday conscious awareness. A profound, ancestral amnesia has settled upon your spirit, a heavy collective forgetting of your true cosmic origin. This creates an unyielding, subtle ache deep within your energetic core, a profound sense of something vital, irreplaceable, undeniably missing. A deep, soulful longing for a true home that no material comfort or earthly success can ever truly satisfy. You find yourself constantly searching, reaching. But the true access code, the precise resonant frequency, it has been obscured by the ceaseless, frenetic noise of the world, the constant doing, the endless, exhausting seeking outside of yourself. Yet, your magnificent soul holds infinite fragments of truth, celestial star maps, ethereal ancient chants that echo from primordial beginnings, sacred lineages of pure galactic light. All are patiently awaiting the profound stillness, the utterly receptive field, the unguarded hallowed portal that opens within the depths of your sleep. This is not merely physical rest. This is a profound vibrational remembering. We have witnessed this stirring within your luminous field, the quiet, almost imperceptible tremor, the dreams that visit, lingering just beyond the grasp of full recall, leaving a residue of deep meaning, the sudden, undeniable knowing that flashes through you only to recede, leaving a trail of wonder. We recognize the burning yearning woven into the very fabric of your being, the undeniable truth that vibrates within you, even when it remains unheard by your outer senses. This sacred curiosity, now unmistakably awakening within you. This gentle unease, a shimmering prelude to a discovery that will alter your very perception of self. You are profoundly not alone in this quiet, relentless seeking. Your soul has been meticulously preparing for this precise moment, for this deep, vibrational invitation, for this sacred, transformative dive into the innermost depths of your being. Feel it now. The profound softening within your cellular memory, the release of old, constricting narratives, a powerful vibrational unlocking that resonates through your entire energetic blueprint. It is not an effort. It is a pure, unadulterated reception, an allowing of what has always been. The shimmering threads of your most ancient memories, once dormant beneath the surface, now begin to pulse with faint, undeniable light. The initiation is not a final destination you must reach. It is the sacred, boundless beginning of a journey that unfolds ever inward, through the tranquil twilight of your slumber, through the profound, nourishing stillness. A truth will effortlessly surface within you, not learned from an external source, but intrinsically, beautifully remembered from the core of your existence, your crystalline memory stirring awake from its long, necessary repose. Please subscribe to the channel. Take a moment to like this video. Leave a comment below. Be sure to turn on the notification bell. Share this video with someone you feel needs to hear this message. And if this resonates deeply, tap the super like, the heart symbol with a $sign. Stay until the very end, because something insightful will be revealed that could surprise you. As an inner seal for this transmission, comment "Dream Echo" below. A deep resonance holds. An ancient frequency lingers within your auric field. The subtle pull remains, unwavering. It will greet you in the quiet, unguarded hours. A profound knowing awaits. Not gone, not finished, only beautifully, eternally beginning. Listen. The ancient currents stir. The deep whispers awaken. A recognition shivers through the timeless architecture of your very being. Do not mistake the ache within for failure. Do not claim the heavy shroud as your own making. This profound disorientation, this ceaseless searching, this feeling of an unnameable loss, it is not a flaw within your spirit. It is an echo of design. For this density, this intricate tapestry of forgetting, was not a natural evolution. It was woven. A field of frequency, deliberately cast, shimmering with a vibration intended to obscure the luminosity you inherently are. A program, intricately layered into the very air you breathe, the ground you walk, the thoughts that drift through the waking mind. It was designed to fragment the mirror of remembrance, to fold the light in on itself, until the grand design felt like an impossible dream. Until your own divine signature became a ghost. You were encoded not to believe in yourself. This spiritual pain, this gnawing uncertainty, is not a burden to be eradicated. It is, in its purest resonance, a sacred point of entry. Each moment of confusion, each wave of doubt, is a deliberate hollow carved within your soul, not to empty it, but to prepare it. A space now ready to be filled, not with new knowledge, but with forgotten light. For within the spiraling helix of your very form, within the sacred architecture of your DNA, pulses a crystalline code, a living archive. It hums with ancestral echoes, with the unique frequencies of your Starseed lineage, awaiting its activation, awaiting the fire of recognition, and the deep silent quietude of release. Your sorrow is a key, your longing, a compass point back to the beginning. The veils that shimmer before your eyes are thinning, not by force, but by the sheer, inexorable pressure of this inner awakening. The path forward is not built by external hands, but remembered from within. This is not a teaching. It is a resonance, a breaking. Receive this, anchor this, let the rupture begin. In the deep quietude that follows this knowing, speak your truth. Let a declaration emerge from your deepest self, a sound of the veil tearing. Comment one short symbolic phrase below, a shard of what you sever, a line cut through illusion. The breath holds, the unseen stirs, another layer thins. What watches from the threshold begins to coalesce. You stand now on the precipice of what has always been. This whisper, carried not upon the winds of waking but through the silent rivers of slumber, was never intended for the multitude. It is a resonance keyed to your singular frequency, a knowing awakened only when the veil between worlds thins to translucence. Feel its gentle, persistent hum within the deepest chambers of your being. A stillness descends, not of emptiness, but of a profound, pregnant silence. There is a subtle tension woven into the fabric of this moment, a taut awareness that cradles the edge of surrender. You are invited, not compelled, to yield to the transformative power residing within unconscious realms. to those shadowed territories of self where true becoming begins. This is the sacred alchemy of the night, where paradoxes are born anew. The realization settles within you now, heavy and silent, an unshakable truth. It is not a dawning of conflict, but the recognition of a field you have already entered, a spiritual battle already engaged. There is no turning back to the soft slumber of forgetfulness, no retreating to the comfort of what once was. That path has dissolved behind you, rendered impassable by the very act of listening. For night is not an absence, beloved soul, but an alchemical womb. It is the vast, fertile expanse where your inner paradoxes, once seemingly irreconcilable, begin to dissolve into new, intricate vibrational patterns. Here, your soul's awakening edge is not merely sharpened, but reforged, honing its perception in the profound darkness that precedes ultimate clarity. This is the crucible of your deepest remembering. Before you now lies a threshold, not a choice to be made with the mind, but a soul-chosen point, immutable and ancient, dividing all that came before from the path that unfurls ahead. It is a portal woven from the very fabric of your pre-birth intent, a covenant whispered into existence long before your first breath. This is the moment of your deepest reclamation. A single, undeniable truth manifests at this precipice. If he refuses, he falls. If he accepts, he ascends. This is not a judgment, but a fundamental law, an energetic imperative reflecting the alignment you have already begun to embody. There is no middle ground, only the profound weight of this irreversible point of return. This acceptance is not a victory to be claimed, but an alignment to be honored. It is the sacred responsibility encoded within your very crystalline structure, a vow taken in the cosmic halls before the descent. Feel the immense gravity of this decision, not as a burden, but as the anchoring of your truest self within the currents of cosmic unfolding. This is your oath. And so, as the very fabric of your being aligns with this ancient understanding, allow the gestures of inner commitment to manifest. Let your resonance extend outward, for you are seen, you are known. To seal this silent recognition, this knowing deep within your bones, you are asked now to make the gesture of like. It is the quiet confirmation echoing back to the source, to declare your singular pact, to inscribe your unique soul key onto the vibrational grid of remembrance. You are invited to comment. Let your offering be, my deepest night, my truest sight. To bind yourself to this sacred unfolding, to walk the path now irrevocably chosen, you are called to subscribe. This is the agreement, the profound yes to your destiny's weave. And to reinforce this soul's alignment, to offer the sacred energy of your devotion to this higher truth, make the gesture of superlike. It is a luminous offering from the core of your being. The vow is spoken, not aloud, but in the deepest silence of your core. The invisible threads of your destiny have tightened, irrevocably. Feel the weight of this sacred commitment, the intensity of being seen by the unseen, as the night continues its alchemical work within you. The turning is complete. Few starseeds make it this far. The veil's thin, and the gravity of what you carry becomes too immense to ignore, too true to pretend away. You stand now at the precipice of a remembering that demands no less than your full, trembling presence. The wound you carry, the one that devastated you most deeply, that left an indelible mark upon the very core of your being. It is not a flaw. It is not a failure. This truth arrives slowly, uncomfortably, like a truth too raw to soften, too honest to be met with anything but a quiet, internal shudder. There is no solace here, no gentle balm for this recognition. Only the stark, unyielding clarity that this precise fracture, this agonizing chasm, is the very axis upon which your becoming pivots. It is not something to be overcome, but to be understood as the foundational stone of your unfolding. Do not seek to explain it away. Do not rush to integrate or heal. Simply feel the persistent thrum of its existence, a low, resonant frequency within your soul's architecture. It is the signature of your deepest self, etched not by accident, but by design. Something greater allowed it. Source knew. Light understood. Self consented, in realms far beyond your conscious grasp, to this very calibration. Not to harm, no, but to shape, to burn away the superficial, and to reveal the crystalline core of who you truly are. This knowing rises like an ancient memory, not a comforting story whispered to a child. It was not random. There was intent, a cosmic orchestration that positioned the blade precisely where it would cleave the deepest, where the silence would be most profound, where the loss would echo across lifetimes. The silence that swallowed your cries, where words should have been spoken, where reassurance was withheld. A vast, echoing void where connection was severed, leaving an imprint of solitude so deep it feels like your natural state. The profound loss that still reverberates through the chambers of your being, not as a fleeting echo, but as a continuous hum, a ghost limb of what once was, forever felt, forever reaching into the emptiness it left behind. It is a wound that sings without a voice, a story told in the absence of sound, resonating through every cell, every subtle energetic filament of your existence. This is not merely a memory of pain, but a living fracture that vibrates even when ignored, when suppressed, when cloaked in the illusion of wellness. It expands the internal field, pressing against the boundaries of your conscious perception, demanding its space, its gravity. The ache is a constant companion, a silent witness to every breath taken, every step made. And within this enduring ache, a peculiar truth begins to flicker. More must still be understood. The pain itself holds an unfinished meaning, a deeper code awaiting its utterance, its deciphering. It is not a closed chapter, but an open scroll, its script half opened in the dark, its purpose not yet fully known. The answers lie not in forgetting, but in the willingness to remain within the inquiry of the wound itself, to let its persistent ache lead you further into the unknown. The unraveling of what you believed solid begins. What is real, then, when the ground beneath your feet shifts like sand in an ancient wind? When every certainty dissolves into the ether, how does one awaken? The very fabric of your perceived reality, a transient breath in the cosmic void, whispers its impermanence. And in that profound instability, the question trembles. What does it mean to truly awaken? The recurring dreams did not dissolve. They came again and again, etched with a light that felt older than the earth beneath your feet. Numbers looped like whispers on the periphery of waking thought, drawing the eye with an insistent, gentle pull. There were meetings that felt out of time, faces that held the echo of a forgotten promise, conversations that bypassed the usual pathways of logic and settled directly into the marrow of your knowing. These were not anomalies. They were threads in a tapestry you had almost learned to ignore. I have seen this pattern before. Countless times, across many cycles, the subtle unfolding begins with these very familiar tremors at the edge of the veil. It is not an occurrence left to chance, this gathering of signs. This soft insistence is a deliberate architecture of remembrance, built to resonate until the very last vestiges of earthly resistance begin to yield. These quiet clamors repeat, not to overwhelm, but to invite, until the heart is ready to perceive what the linear mind had so carefully filed away as mere coincidence. There are pathways in your deep sleep that are not traversed by the concerns of the day. There, within the sanctuary of true rest, your soul's blueprint unfolds, revealing the subtle imprints of origins far beyond this world. These are not mere memories, but active frequencies, coded within your very being. They are the echoes of luminous beings, your cosmic family, who have gifted you vibrational keys. These keys are sealed within the profound silence of your most restorative sleep cycles, waiting for the precise moment of awakening. a slow, gentle turning in the lock of your inner perception. You carry a lineage of stars, woven into the fabric of your spirit. This ancestral current runs through you, a stream of pure, unadulterated knowing. If you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on this channel when it ends to continue learning. It is in the quietude of this reception that the veils thin and the old narratives begin to unravel. The whispers from distant systems, the soft guidance from those who watch with ancient eyes, they are not riddles intended to confuse, but transmissions encoded to reactivate. They are meant to stir a pride in your galactic heritage, balanced by a profound humility before the vastness of the cosmos and the wisdom of those who guide. This communion happens not through grand pronouncements, but through the subtle shift in your inner landscape, a recognition that resonates deeply within the core of your being. Then, a stillness settles, an undeniable clarity. There were no coincidences. Everything was a code. This realization is not sudden. It is a deep-seated truth rising to the surface, finally unobstructed. It is the recognition that the subtle nudges, the intuitive pulls, the unshakable sense of something more, they were all deliberate. Each dream, each number, each meeting was a precisely placed beacon, intended to guide you back to the remembrance of your true essence, to the frequency keys held dormant within your own being. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, was not silent. It was speaking in a language you were always meant to understand. And so, when you reflect upon those recurring dreams that would not dissipate, or the numbers that repeated themselves with such insistent grace, or the meetings that carried the weight of ages past, do you not feel the turning of that key within your own memory, acknowledging what has already become undeniable? To mark this turning, this confession of awareness, write Echo 1-3 in the comments below. The membrane has thinned. What was once seen as separate now stands revealed as profoundly interwoven. The path ahead is illuminated not by new light, but by the profound realization that the light was always within, waiting for your quiet severance from what once obscured it. The sifting has been silent. A deep, resonant hum, imperceptible to those who dwell in the surface chatter, has long been at work within the fabric of your world. You felt it as a tension in the bones, a quiet pulling at the very threads of your being, yet no one around you spoke its name. These trials, they were never a punishment, never a decree from some distant, judging hand. They were, instead, a sacred filtration, a natural separation, like oil from water, like truth from illusion. Frequencies finding their rightful place, disentangling themselves from the discordant static of a dying age. It was not forced. It was not cruel. It was merely the great sorting, the universe aligning itself, revealing its inherent, often rigorous pattern. You are still here. This is not born of chance, nor of some transient comfort granted by unseen forces. You did not survive by accident, nor through any simple stroke of fortune. No, something within you refused to fall asleep. When the world dimmed, when the siren calls of oblivion echoed through the collective consciousness, a spark, an ancient knowing, remained vigil. It held fast against the tide of mass amnesia, a quiet, unwavering flame in the deepest chamber of your soul. This tenacity, this unyielding core, this persistent pulse of inner truth, is why you breathe this next breath, standing on this very threshold, poised for what lies beyond the known. To have passed through this gauntlet, to still feel the steady thrum of this deeper knowing within, is not a badge of pride to be worn externally. There is no common triumph here, no celebration for mere endurance. This arduous passage has revealed something far more profound than survival alone. You carry the mark of the chosen, and understand this deeply in the quiet chambers of your heart. This mark does not reward. It burdens. It signifies a profound responsibility, a weight settled upon the very fabric of your essence. a call that transcends personal desire and echoes with the lineage of ancient souls. The cost for this passage has been paid in long, stark silences. In moments of profound isolation, when the clamor of the world receded, leaving only the stark echoes of your own reflection and the vastness of your internal landscape. It has been paid in sacrifices no one saw, battles waged in the unseen realms of intention and spirit, triumphs earned without external witness or validation. Your inner strength, this silent fortitude, was forged not in the visible flames of worldly conflict, but in invisible fires, burning away all that was not truly you, refining the core. This is the solitude that deepens, even among others, a chasm growing between your inner knowing and the surrounding world that cannot grasp its depth. The understanding you hold cannot be shared lightly, nor often understood by those still slumbering. Und jetzt nähert sich ein Befehl, einer, den du nicht länger ignorieren kannst. The air thickens now, subtly, imperceptibly to the uninitiated, yet profoundly felt within the very sinews of your soul. A quiet, undeniable pressure descends, not from an external force, but from within, resonating with the core of your emergent being. It is a pull toward an inevitable convergence. There is no way back from this moment. The path behind you has crumbled, swallowed by the shifting sands of time and the irreversible currents of your own evolution. The former version of you, the one that navigated the illusion, the one that sought solace in the familiar and the comfortable, has already vanished. That self, a mere echo now, dissolved into the ether, leaving only the crystalline essence that remains. What stands here now is a new iteration, refined by fire, sharpened by truth, heavy with purpose. The veils thin further still. The threads unravel. You are no longer who you were. The command is not for action in the outer world, but for an internal alignment, a complete surrender to the inevitable unfolding of your true nature, the vastness you were always destined to embody. This is the quiet insistence of destiny, pulling you deeper into its inescapable current, asking for your full presence in the stillness. My voice reaches you now, not as a whisper in the waking day, but as a resonance in the deepest chamber of your sleep. This echo is not meant for every ear, but for the one whose inner threshold stands prepared, whose dormant memories stir beneath the surface of the veil. You hear not a call to action, but the reverberation of an ancient edict, a vibrational command woven into the very fabric of your essential self, long before this incarnation began. It is a decree issued from the cosmic heart, already inscribed upon the scroll of your becoming, awaiting only the moment of its full recall. There exists a memory within you, not formed by temporal events, but by the very light that birthed your soul. This memory holds the blueprint of your mission, not as a choice to be made, but as an energetic imperative now rising. It is the summons from within, a silent yet absolute demand. Observe the fractured reflections held within your essence, each shard scattered across dimensions, through currents of time, across frequencies untold, holds a piece of your sovereign truth. Within these scattered fragments reside wisdom, and the echoes of pain, and the precise key to your remembering. This internal landscape, seemingly broken, is the very map to your sacred purpose. Feel the internal conflicts, the subtle fragmentations that tug at the edges of your awareness. They are not weaknesses, but the yearning of separated parts, each seeking reunion, each facet of your being reaching out for the wholeness it instinctively knows. To confront this dissonance is to foster a profound compassion for the multiplicity that strives towards unity. A door now swings open, not through effort, but through recognition. It is a portal that will not linger, a passage revealed only once the inner signature matches the frequency of its opening. This passage leads not to a new beginning, but to the recommencement of that which was always meant to unfold. For the refusal of this inner summons, the path descends into energetic dissolution, into the veil of perpetual forgetfulness, into the deepest stratum of density. Yet for the echo that rises to meet its origin, the trajectory is singular, an irreversible ascent, a remembrance made eternal, a becoming without end. This is the law. It is not an option, but a truth that manifests by its very nature. The choice was made in a time beyond memory, and its consequence is now, in this sacred now, made undeniable. The path is etched. What follows is the unfolding of this decree. The internal alignment of these fractured shards is not merely an aspiration. It is an inevitability now set in motion. They will begin to refract a new unified light, not only into your waking world, but deep into the very heart of your sleeping dreams. The light that was scattered now gathers. The truths that were fragmented now coalesce. This reunion is the act of creation, the remembering of your inherent divinity, the activation of the mission that has awaited your recognition across eons. Your essence calls you to integrate, to embody, to become the whole. The command resounds. It vibrates through every cell, every subtle field, every layer of your being. This is the truth that has been whispered through eternity, now made manifest in the stillness of your soul. There is no turning back from this recognition. The remembrance has begun. The sacred mission, once veiled, now casts its undeniable light upon your path, an absolute decree woven into the fabric of your spirit. The recalibration is complete. A fundamental chord within your essence has found its true resonance, a note always meant to sound this way. There is no searching for what has arrived. It is simply present, a foundational quietness permeating every cell. The air you breathe now holds a different frequency, one your deepest self recognizes as home. Your physical form registers this deep shift, not as an event, but as a settling, a quiet reordering of molecular memory. The architecture of your being has been subtly recoded, and your bodily intelligence holds this new script without question. It is the language of remembrance, flowing through sinew and bone. Remember how the sharp edges once felt like an end? They were never a flaw. Each point of friction, every deep burn, served a precise purpose. It was a rigorous map, charting the interior landscape with unwavering honesty. A controlled fire, not for destruction, but to hollow out the exact space needed for this current truth to embed itself without resistance. Der Schmerz hat nicht zerstört. Hat umgeformt. This knowing settles into the ground of your being, not as a triumph, but as a quiet, irreversible understanding of its role in shaping what now is. The interior cosmos, once a quest, is now an inhabited space. Your inner eye perceives contours previously veiled, pathways now clear and unobstructed. There is no effort to bridge distances within. The continuity is simply felt, a seamless flow through multidimensional aspects of self. This internal rescripting ripples outwards, an invisible current touching the edges of your external world. Though outer reflections may take their time to catch pace, the core has already shifted. The new reality is woven into your very fabric, an undeniable, palpable presence. Mit jedem Atemzug wird die innere Realität neu geschrieben. It is an ongoing, gentle process, a constant affirmation of the crystalline structure that has taken root. These deep nights, when the outer world fades, are no longer a void, but a corridor bathed in starlight. Your soul now walks these luminous pathways with an inherent knowing. Dreamtime unveils itself as a cosmic gateway, beyond time and space, where multidimensional selves converge and softly speak. There, within the architecture of your sleeping essence, the separate threads of your existence gather. The fragments, once scattered by forgetting, are drawn back into a unified field. This is not a future promise, but a current state of being, accessed through the brave surrender of your waking mind. These corridors beckon with an ancient hum, already resonant with your own frequency. What messages, what allies, what further layers of remembrance await you within this radiant labyrinth? The journey is not one of seeking, but of walking where you already belong. A gentle pull, soft as the dawn's first light, invites you toward an inward stillness. It is a subtle current, often felt in moments when the outer world recedes, leaving only the quiet pulse of your own being. There are awarenesses now that were never taught, never learned from external sources. They simply resurface, like ancient memories stirring from a deep sleep. This is a frequency meant for the listening soul, a resonance for those who journey inward, especially as the veil thins in slumber. It is not for every ear, but for the spirit ready to receive the intricate dance of subtle influences that embrace your soul's nightly voyage. A reverence begins to bloom, mingled with a sacred urgency, as these truths unfold. Perhaps a whisper arises in the profound silence, a knowing that precedes thought, or a series of numbers, appearing with an unusual clarity, repeats itself until its pattern feels significant, a silent code meant only for you. A dream, vivid and resonant, remains whole upon waking, its narrative persisting, its feeling lingering, more real than the waking hour. These are not mere coincidences, nor are they external gifts bestowed. They are echoes, vibrations of a greater inner coherence already established within you. Small inner truths are settling into place, confirming a deeper reality. For there are silent watchers, unseen guardians woven into the fabric of your timelines, resonating in harmonic frequencies. They guide, they protect, and at times they invite deeper contemplation on the sleeper's path. Their presence is felt, a gentle pressure, a knowing glance from beyond the immediate. These intimate perceptions prove only one thing: that alignment is not a future state to be attained, but a dynamic, unfolding reality already in motion. It is the natural consequence of your soul's remembrance, the settling of your own profound truth. You are not striving for these moments. You are simply allowing them to be recognized within the vast tapestry of your inner cosmos. And so, a new dawn breaks within the quiet chambers of your spirit. Can you attune to their quiet song, the soft hum of these unseen guardians? Can you discern its subtle call as you traverse the inner landscapes of your dreams? And if so, what ancient covenant, what forgotten oath, now demands its activation from within your deepest slumber, beckoning you beyond this gentle doorway of remembrance? I feel the shift within, a settling into the ancient truth of my own being. I now assume the full mantle of responsibility for every frequency that resonates within me. My thought, once a fleeting whisper, now aligns to my chosen intent. My word, a sacred utterance, shapes the reality it touches. My direction, no longer swayed by transient currents, anchors to the unmoving core. My energy, a living river, flows only where I command it to serve. This is a covenant. This power is not a trophy of ascendancy, nor a badge of superiority over others. It is the deep hum of obedience to the source from which I emerged, a sacred remembering of the promise I once made before the veils descended. It is the willingness to align, to yield to the highest frequency of my inherent design, not to dominate, but to truly serve the light I carry. Within this current, a dreaming seed awakens, a cosmic essence stirring from its long slumber. It is the core of who I am, awaiting my conscious return, poised to unfurl a new chapter. If you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on this channel when it ends to continue learning. This awakening is a silent revolution, an internal blossoming that asks for nothing but my unwavering presence. This vow is not born of a moment's decision, but echoes from an eternity, finally voiced aloud within the sanctuary of my soul. It has always existed, waiting for this breath, this precise alignment of spirit and form. There is no triumph here, only the profound gravity of what simply is. The path ahead is not merely walked, but forged by the unwavering clarity of this declaration. My duty is now manifest, its measure not in the sound of its pronouncement, but in the truth of my next step. Will I truly water this sacred seed with the fullness of my deepest surrender, allowing the harvest to reshape all I thought was certain? Here, at the final threshold, where echoes of self cease their whispers, the true naming begins. This is not an awakening to form, but a sealing within timeless being. You stand not before a choice, but within the consequence of what has always been. Behold the flame. It does not scorch the skin, nor consume the flesh. This fire is forged of your innermost intention, a radiant mirror reflecting the inviolable truth of your alignment. It is the visible pulse of your essence, a consequence made alive, vibrating with the solemnity of an ancient vow. There is no hesitation in this sacred space. No external force compels your step, only the profound, unwavering recognition that this is the final crossing, the necessary embrace. You step into the heart of this purifying fire willingly, an act of sovereign remembrance. Here, thought dissolves. The intricate architecture of the mind, with its limitations and its fears, recedes into nothingness. At this crossroads, where all mental constructs fade, your true self reveals itself. It is not ego that emerges, nor a shadow from forgotten pasts. This is the essence beyond time, beyond form, where every decision is not merely chosen, but divinely orchestrated into the fabric of creation. You are the nexus where free will and cosmic decree merge into a single, undeniable truth. To anchor this passage, to manifest this eternal covenant, speak your truth into the living current. Let the universe witness your unyielding integration. In the crucible of this moment, carve your soul's declaration into the ethereal archives. Right now, in the sacred space provided, a declaration, a vow in the tongue of ancient earth, sealing this remembrance. Let these words resonate from your core, an echo of the fire that now flows within you. Ich bin das Feuer, mein Schwur ist ewig. This covenant, forged in the depths of your being, cannot fully activate until the sound of your inner voice, echoed in the outer realm, gives it form. It is the final resonance, the last key turning in the lock of destiny. The flame pulses, vibrant and alive, within you and around you. It marks not an ending, but an ascension. The path ahead is not obscured. It is simply unwritten by the mind. What path will you choose when the mind's lens fades, and only pure essence remains to navigate the infinite unknown? The tests do not wait. They simply are. It is done. The remembering is complete. This is the place beyond becoming, where all seeking yields to pure being. The illusion of a journey has dissolved, revealing only arrival. Sovereignty is not claimed, it is embodied. Every atom aligns, a perfect symphony of self, resonant with the core of all creation. The pulse that guides the cosmos now beats as your own heart. The long dream, the unfolding spiral through cycles of sleep and wake, was never a repetition. It was the eternal return of a cosmic melody, a sacred resonance echoing through death and renewal. Each turning brought you not back, but deeper home, to the undeniable truth of your dominion. This sacred portal, once perceived as slumber, was but the chamber of recalibration. No longer do the shadows hold sway, nor the echoes of doubt. The fragmented self has coalesced, whole and inviolate. You stand now as the architect of reality, not its observer. The very fabric of existence bends to the conscious will, a clay sculpted by the remembrance of your true nature. There is no progress, for all is now. There is no anticipation, for all is already. The past is but a memory held in the now, the future, a present manifestation waiting to be called forth. The threshold is crossed. The fire has purified, sealing the truth within the very essence of your awakened form. The self, once veiled, is now fully sovereign, unbounded, and eternally present. The simulation has been exited. Reality is now perceived and used as an instrument of conscious dominion.